Welcome back to the Runs podcast with me and Nikki. What is going on, Nick? Right?
Yes, mate. How are you after a half marathon on Sunday?
I didn't. Why the fuck am I running half marathons without a medal? Look,
That's what we do, especially in marathon training.
I quite enjoyed it. The weather helps, doesn't it? Like so much.
Yeah, hell of a difference from your run the week before, wasn't it? From being like buzzing to like really sunny, but crisp, not too hot. Like,
but no, when you're like getting your stuff ready as well, and like you're by the window getting your stuff ready, and the fucking rain's against the window or whatever, or it's gloomy outside. It's like, gotta go out to now.
It makes it so much harder.
But it was banging. No sleeves, cap on back to front, sunglasses on. 5 in one direction on the playlist.
Vest or?
Yeah, not the runs vest, but
not just a vest.
Yeah, I run in a vest anyway most of the time.
I know, you do regular.
But I don't think it matters if your legs and arm get wet. Like, it's your body, innit? That's where the heat just runs through the middle of it, doesn't it? So
I'm no expert or scientist, but I struggle with my hands and feet, so I don't know.
True. But yeah, I enjoyed. The only problem I had was I could text you and said I'm a real runner now because I had to stop for a poo. First time I've ever had to stop for a poo on a long run. I got home and my act was covered in salt. I've never sweated salt before. But my second gel was gone off. I ripped the lid off it and had a bit, and it was like grainy. I thought it's not meant to be grainy, like so. I debated taking that, but then I binned it, and then after I had a poo, I washed my hands and I grabbed the Powerade and then sipped that all the way back. But it's not quite the same, is it?
No, but that might be why you sweated so much in salt as well. Not enough sodium from one gel, maybe over and a half. Well, I'd say probably. No, definitely.
Yeah. There's a science.
Got done.
Yeah. Like, I fucked it again as well because I don't know if you see my Strava or if you can see it, but on my chorus, the finish was like,
Oh, I did. I don't.
I got to go downhill to get out of my house, so I've got to go back up to get back to it.
The finish.
Oh.
Well, just drive somewhere and start on a flat.
But sorry, didn't I? I could have just walked back up it, but then it would have been 12 miles, and it's not what I said I was going to do. Like, you know.
No, even better. More kudos to Anne finishing up, Bill.
I know. I got 15 miles with my father-in-law Sunday.
Oh,
He's on Monday as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Amy's out on Saturday, staying down Bridgend. So I'm going to meet him early Sunday morning, and we're going to run down to Bridgend and then have a lift back.
Cool. Oh, from you?
No, from my house.
From your house?
Yeah. So you basically go like, well, SA1 in here, they live. So SA1, you go up Fabian Way, then through Britain Ferry and then you go up past, go through Kenfig and then round the A48 way. Like.
Oh, you're going to go that way, right? Oh, yeah. So, and what is it, 15 miles? Yeah, that won't take you to Bridgend, will it?
He's told me it's 15 miles. I'm stopping at 15.
Further than that. I think it's further than I got.
To Broadlands, not to like to Broadlands.
Broadlands, yeah, maybe then. I've never run it, but I'll have to put it in your chorus, map it, just to be sure. Yeah, it might be around there, yeah. Nice run, Albie.
Yeah, should be alright.
The weather looking weekend's alright again, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it now. I'm going to try, for the rest of this week now, I'm going to try and do a couple because Will Morris spoke, and Will Morris had a PB. We'll get on to PBs now, but Will Morris, I was speaking to him in the DMs this week, and he said, how's the training going? I said, it's go. I said, I can do fucking long runs on the weekend, no problem, but I'm not doing anything before. And he said, yeah, just try and bang a couple easy, short runs in throughout the week just to get them in your legs, innit?
Yeah, I've been telling you that for 8 weeks.
I know, yeah. But that was a 16.1 mile weekend because we had our first social run on Friday night, didn't we?
We did. Nice. Sorry, I was just writing something down now. Yeah, we had a nice gang of about just under 40 of us, was it? Done a nice...
It would have been 40 if Ben Keogh didn't get stuck in traffic and Scott Gray wasn't otherwise engaged. But
let's go back to this. Ben Keogh was not stuck in traffic.
No.
he sent us a message with a picture of the Celtic Manor at 1656. And what did he say? Put the
Empty.
kettle on, pubes.
I know.
So he had an hour and a half to get from the Celtic Manor to my steak. So traffic or no traffic, he said he had to stop for the boys to go to the toilet twice. It's still not an hour and a half, Ben. I'm not letting you off.
I reckon there's a message in the PYB My Steak group saying no one is to do the My Steak runs social on Friday night.
None of you go with boycotting them. We don't want to be runners. We're IROX wankers.
We're only joking, PYB. You're welcome to town. So that was good, yeah. Lovely, nice. I enjoyed it. I think
It was.
my brother PB'd on Strava, but he said he's done it faster than that, but forgot to stop his watch previously. So
Yeah.
but Strava said he PB'd, so happy days.
Yeah, it was cracking turnout, wasn't it? It was a nice mix of like a load of the OPR gang, a lot of the three boys, a few people I'd never met before. So yeah, it was good. And then we back in spoons, couple of pints. Good night. Weather held off, a bit fresh, but enjoyed it. We'll have to again do it later in the spring, won't it, or summer.
Spring,
maybe someone else.
Yeah, and we need to get sorted with Arwell. Always thanks to Arwell for rocking up, because he fucking go anywhere for a run, he will. But he pegged onto E3's first 5K as well, so he done 10K around my stig, and didn't get anything stolen. So fucking problem solved. Excellent.
Hey, winning.
Yeah, but we need to get maybe another We Run Wales time to run, trail run again. Hopefully I won't have a virus this time, because that was class, and the more the merrier on that. We can't, 40 was a nice number for that one. You can't have fucking 100 running through town, down Maiden Street, up Bridgend Road.
No, yeah, it was probably about as much. Obviously, we'd like more people to turn up, as more the merrier, isn't it? But yeah, I know what you mean. It's like a narrowish sort of two-person pavement, and you've got loads of road crossing. So yeah, if we look into it again, maybe somewhere quiet there, come and visit some other people somewhere else and get it done.
Yeah, we need to do a Valley series. I was just thinking of this earlier. The new legacy night runs from what's Marcus's name? The influencer, the runner.
Oh, Marcus, yeah. He set up a Hackney half, haven't he?
Yeah, but they've gone over the night. They've just announced night legacy races coming. So
is it?
Imagine it's going to be dotted around.
Class.
Maybe we drop into different valleys. If anyone wants us to go over, well, fucking hell, who are we looking at? But if anyone wants to put a run together on a Friday night and we can meet somewhere and get people from different valleys doing it, then great, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
What else has been going
on? Well, there's a few races a weekend to catch up on. You just mentioned there, Will, Newport half, or there's Newport City half, where loads of people seem to run really well. And I was talking to a few people in our run that were doing it. Arwell being one of them. Paul and a few of the OPR gang were doing it Sunday, and I was saying I didn't enjoy it last year, and I thought the route was a bit weird route. The lumps of the second half, that's fucking running, innit? You can't have flat races everywhere, but I just thought it was a bit twisty, turny, back alleys. I didn't enjoy it. I had a bad race, but that's not the reason I didn't enjoy it. I wasn't enjoying it before shit went to pot or whatever the saying is, and lost my words. But yeah, and some unbelievable performances all across the board from people.
Sorry, I'm just sending the invite out for our guest.
Oh, right.
Carly Stone from Griswary. Big fan of the podcast, right, Carl? She ran a PB.
Yeah.
She was 4 seconds off the Masters time.
She was how much, sorry?
4 seconds off the Welsh Masters time.
Wow, class. Yeah, it was like seen Paul Mason ran well. Obviously, Paul Teaser from OPR smashed the PB 116. That man's on fire. Arwell.
You PB. As well, isn't he? I was sat next to him in the spoons.
Paul.
He's a bit,
he's in the gym, boy. He's still doing his gym work and boy. I think that's what's getting him. He's a strong man. The better runner now than his brother who's out in Canada, Mark. Mark.
Yeah. I thought, for a year, I thought their surname was Swagdill.
Purely because of Mark, like.
Who else?
Arwell had bananas after.
Yeah, well done, Newport City of Newport half. We must have seen our podcast, massive watchers. I made sure there was loads of bananas. Mind you, Arwell was one of the first lot over the line, so I don't know how many was left at the end.
I looked loads on his picture he sent us.
It did. E3 boys as well, Steve Kelly and Tyler Doe.
Yeah,
Tyler, is that what you say, Doe? Tell me if I'm wrong, Tyler.
I think so.
But yeah, fair play. It was his debut in the half marathon, I think, and he got a
Oh,
good
was
time.
it?
I think
I
so,
don't
because he's always on the rugby boys, isn't he? So he's quite new.
know.
Might be wrong though. All in black as well. I said, fucking hell, what an outfit to choose on that
Yeah,
day.
it was a sunny day, like.
Bloody hell. You want to talk about Tokyo, or are you too sad?
Oh my what? Too upset? No, it's fine. It was Tokyo Marathon weekend. Obviously, yeah. Not upset. It's one of them things, innit? Just every time it comes around, it's like, wish I was there, innit? One of them things. Carl Walsh from Phoenix was out there with one of the other guys. Can't remember his name. I don't know him. Apologise to you, but Carl can't be far off his six now. He goes everywhere. Carl. He did offer me one of the charity places back at the Tonopandi Track Classic. He was up there because he's from Aronda, and he had got 3 of the charity places, and he offered it to me on that night, but having to pay $1,500 up front, I wasn't taking that. So thank you for that, Carl, and glad to see you went out and enjoyed it. And yeah, he'd probably get it before me now. Well, he will now if he's got Tokyo. I'm sure he's only got. No, he's done Boston. I don't know what he's got left. I think he might have got one. Can't remember.
Fucking mad, isn't it?
And then you had Paula Ratcliffe doing her first marathon for about 12 years.
Yeah.
Still
Nicola
sub 3
Carragher.
50 odd. Yeah, Carragher's missus. She's done her 4 now. She's got 3 to do this year, to do all 7.
And the main man running on the slide.
Who?
Harry Styles.
Ah, yeah.
Fair play.
That was his first marathon as well, was it, I seen?
I don't know, I guess so. It's mad because you know Sims, the socks.
Yeah.
He had them on. Can you imagine, like, I know they're quite a big now, but that's great marketing for him, isn't it? When they just watch the race and they haven't sent him Sims or anything like that. He's just got a pair of Sims socks on as well.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
But he
it
didn't.
looked like he ran decent time as well. I'm pretty, like, negative split there.
I know, but the only thing that annoyed me is he had the Shreks on, where Harry Styles got the most money in the world. He's got the white Sims on. They are made for the Bowermans, like.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not here to give fashion advice to Harry Styles. That's one step too far.
Well, you are, because you just have.
Oh, what else?
Yeah, but apparently it was like quite hot and humid as well, so it looked like a tough day, like, for some. Because what's his name? Who runs for Abbott, on Instagram? I can't remember. Pursuit of Performance. He does his 1 mile splits all the time, doesn't he? And he was going for a sub 3, he was trying to do them all, and he ended up having a real tough second half because of the heat and humidity.
Yeah, what's the weather like in Tokyo this time of year?
I know. I think it was cold last year because I remember seeing them all with gloves and arm warmers. But this year it was apparently hot and humid. March, yeah, I don't know. Early March, I think they can have snow at Fuji probably.
Yeah. Fuji's in Japan.
The mountain, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not fucking Lauryn Hill and Wycliffe and Praz.
Yes, it's not far from further south than Tokyo.
I had a C in geography too, but I learned in Welsh, so let's blame it on that.
Yeah, what's Fuji in Welsh, Garnet? Who's going to remember that?
Yeah, exactly. What else have we got? We got anything else?
But don't know. No, we haven't got to Ras Dewi Sant. Did I mention that?
Ras Dewi Sant, the mountain goat is back.
Yeah, Welsh. What is it? Yeah, St David's Marathon down in Pembroke Trail. The goat Tasker with the first place with a 2:54. Man's back.
Yeah, that's fast, that, isn't it?
They're pretty fast for like 3,000 foot of elevation trail marathon. Yeah.
Daylight between him and second.
I don't know. I didn't see the results. I just seen him. He didn't even post that he wins, did he? He just puts whatever, and then you see later him with the first place trophy. Like,
no,
too modest. Probably, mate, because he's just an animal and he on trails and hills.
Yeah. No. Well done, Jake. Well done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the PBs, 2 PBs for the... Will did PB, didn't he?
Will Morris. Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
So 2 out of 2 PBs, which leads us on nicely to our best It's done. Thank you ever so much to everyone that ordered the best. We had 60 in the end, which is great news for us. Pays for the cost of this to run for the next kind of year or so, and maybe a new baseball cap each or something like that, but nothing too fucking strenuous. But so we've sent the order off. Racked will be getting the order. Hopefully, we're going to get it into production by the end of this week, but that's between Dan and the factory now. And but hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to have them in time for spring.
Yeah.
London, and well, you're not allowed to wear it, but
No.
hopefully for London, Manchester, spring season. But you'll get plenty of use out of it anyway.
Yeah.
Definitely for Cardiff off.
Yeah. You need it for Cardiff off. You need it for all your summer racing. So thank you to those that did buy them. Much appreciated again.
We are men of our word. So in this Vanzat, I've got every single order. And we're going to refund one order live on the draw now. So tell me when to stop.
Now.
Was that just one? Yeah. And the winner is...
It's like the Oscars.
Can't see it.
I can't
There is
see
no
it.
winner. We're joking. You can all pay. No. That says Tom Hill.
Tom
Hill, congratulations. If they're fucking, that's not going to work.
I can't see that. No. Yeah, I think it's just your light.
Yeah, you can't see fuck all, but I haven't fixed it because I don't fucking know him. So,
Well done,
Tom Hill,
Hill.
I'll be in touch and we'll get your money back, sent back out to you. But if you've ordered the socks, you're still paying for the socks. That's how it is.
Yeah, you're not having double.
Excellent. I just want one thing as well. I remember that I didn't speak about last week that I meant to speak about. I went to a live podcast, didn't I? Remember I said I was going to watch that?
Yeah.
I was in there, like, taking notes. The first half was sensational, great, good hosts. Gavin Ensign was a good guest, plenty of people there. And then they had a break for the question and answer session, and they came back. If we ever do a live show, you've got to fucking plant people with questions, right? Because rugby fans are fucking weird. Honest to God. First question, ask Gavin Ensign. Must be about my age, right? So let's call him 40, 41, 42. Good older than me, probably. Married man with 4 children. And up. But oh, he's got a rugby question. What was Charlotte Church's tits like?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Like, that'd be alright if he was 15 and he was 20, but have some respect, like, you know, he's got a life somewhere.
Yeah, sort of grow up like.
Oh, bloody hell. And then this other guy right in front of me, my brother and Tom, had his arm up from the start, right? And they went round and round and round and round and round and round. 20, 25 minutes question. He's just like this. I was like, he must have gone. Because if I was me, I would have gone, fuck it, I'm not asking my question.
Yeah, a couple of minutes, yeah, that'll do, don't matter.
But damn, he must have gone the most banging question I've ever heard in my life. And Andy Good, one of the hosts, he wasn't the most healthy rugby player in the world. I'm sure he won't mind me saying that, and he probably hasn't continued that into his after rugby life. But he goes, go on, what's your question? And the guy goes, Andy, what's your favourite flavour vape?
What the fuck?
Like, wasting time, like, it's ridiculous.
You kept his hand up for 20 minutes to ask that shit.
Yeah, and then after Gavin Ensign had shunned the first question, obviously, it's a just dodged the one about Charlotte Church's tits. Another one put his arm up at the end and he said, "You didn't answer the first question. What was Charlotte Church's tits?" I thought, come on, like.
For fuck's sake.
What are you doing? It's fucking 7:20. How have we got so drunk, like?
Yeah. Where was it? Were they drinking during?
Yeah, it was in Walkabout, to be fair, but
right. Fuck's sake, like
just
grow up, boys.
Rugby, you're right about rugby. Rugby fans are fucking weird. I do like the sport, but and then someone asked a rugby question, and everyone was like booing him, and then he would have to sulk as well, and he was like, "Oh, I'm asking a rugby question." Oh, madman! And someone was like, "Oh, I don't know." It just annoys me. Like someone said, "Oh, what was that kick like against England?" Surely you've read about that in the last 15 years. He's answered this question a million times, like.
So you're saying what animal could you throw? Even though did you ask her this time?
No, you got to assess the crowd. Like,
What
in the
goes
ones I've
around?
asked
Yeah,
for before, they've been like a bit more lights on and stuff like that, and less rowdy and less drinking.
yeah,
But like, it would have been like, it was like being in a rugby game, like people just shouting stuff out and stuff. But
yeah.
maybe that's the crowd. Like, but the first half was great, and the second half was the worst experience of my life.
You did
So
say you messaged after.
if we ever do a live show, then we have to plant questions out there. No
We're only
choice.
taking them from the people with our hats on.
Yeah, exactly. We know who we're asking. It's fine. But yeah, do better, like,
Yeah, definitely. Grow up.
That's about it, really. I don't think we've got much else we need to touch on. We've
Didn't
covered.
know
There was no
Euros this weekend. That's all.
congratulations to one of our favourite guests and a very fast partner as well, Lily Partridge
Oh,
and Ben
yeah,
Cola. Got married
yeah,
secretly on the weekend.
yeah. Congrats, Lily and Ben.
Do you
Sneaky.
think
Well done.
do you think they
Definitely.
both go? Do you think they both go double barrel now?
No,
I wonder.
I wouldn't. Fuck that.
No, what would you be if you went there? What was it? What's the answer name?
Sharon.
Nikki Puleo hyphen Sharon.
No. Just no.
I'd have to have a fucking. My bib would have to go round the back. It'd be like Blackwell Bonnet.
BB, that sounds quite good.
Yeah, BB gun.
GBB.
Oh my god! Right, we'll stop waffling. This week we've got an SVT alumni again, who has done a bit of everything really. I know we done the ultra with Seb the other day, that long one from Brecon. What was it? Brecon to
Back in
Cardiff.
the Cardiff, yeah.
He was doing High Rocks on the weekend down KO Gym in Swansea as well. He's done
Already?
Ironmans. So I met Alex right when we'll tell a story now, but I met Alex when we were both maybe in our early 20s selling mobile phones in tele sales before the iPhone was invented.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone that's had that many fag breaks in a day in my life. Like. So I can't believe.
More than you would.
Yeah, because he used to sell more phones than me, and you'd get a break, and every time you sold a phone, like they say, oh yeah,
Ah,
sell a
would you?
phone, you get a break. So he
That's a
would. He
good
was better.
that's a good ploy, isn't it? Like, yeah.
I think he had less of a confidence in me.
Push the fucking what was it, the Nokia whatever they
Oh,
were called, 2310.
when the Samsung Galaxy first came out, then you'd be like, yeah, it's exactly the same as the iPhone. You couldn't get the iPhone. Like, you could only sell, like, handsets that they'd let you sell. And obviously the
Yeah.
iPhone sold itself, so they didn't need to shift that. Like, so you'd be like, yeah, it's exactly the same as the iPhone. Used to, before that, you'd have, like, Nokia 8210s, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, it's made out of the same metal as aeroplanes. It's indestructible.
They
Remember the
were.
Sony Ericsson with the pop-up camera, 8-in-1 with the
Yeah.
dolphin in the advert. Remember when that came out? Fucking sold loads of those.
Yeah.
All got sent back. Like, you said there was a dolphin with this.
You've done some dodgy jobs, like.
Oh no, yeah, but we'll get into that. Right, let's take a quick break and we'll get Alex in. Is it?
Yes, sir.
All right, boys and girls. This episode is supported by Racked. Are you looking to gear up your club with some custom, high-quality kit? Whether it's socks, t-shirts, vests, tri-suits, or bike apparel, Racked has got you covered. With Racked, you can create fully custom kit for your club, designed just the way you want them. The bespoke in-house design service allows you to bring your ideas to life. Whether you're a running club, a cycling club, or a triathlon club. And it's not just about style either. Rack delivers high performance gear, perfect for all your training and racing needs. Ready to get started? Drop them an email on info@racked.online and kick off your custom design today. Welcome back. We have been joined by another SVT alumni. We swore we'd never get another one after Mark Barrow, but things changed. Here we are. What's happening, Al? You all right?
Yes, good. How are you?
All right, yeah,
Good,
not bad.
mate. Good.
I was just saying to Nikki now before we come on, I put in the post. We work together, obviously. Our early 20s. How old are you now, Al?
37, 37.
Well, you must have been like teenage. You must have been a teenager then when we were working in comms, was you?
God, how long ago was it? Was it 15, 20 years ago?
2006, I think it was. I looked at old photos on Facebook, fucking God forbid. And yeah, 2006, 2007, I think it was.
Yeah, so I was probably in my early 20s then. Not a care in the world.
No,
Nope.
you could tell that, but the people you were selling phones to, but
Hey, there was nothing wrong with our Sony Ericsson 37 ever.
but yeah, it's mad now that we've come like not full circle, but when we both finished in comms, I thought the last thing we'd be doing when our paths crossed again would be talking about endurance sports. But here we are. Things fucking change. People change, innit?
They do, absolutely.
So you weren't the most athletic person I'd ever met when we worked in comms,
I
right?
was definitely not. I was very fat, lazy, smoked. You still owe me a fag, Gareth, actually. Um, yeah, never done fitness at all. Hated PE. When I was in school, and I've still got it actually upstairs. My PE, used to have the end of year reports.
Yeah.
I think it was about 10 words, and it was like, cannot comment on Alex's physical education because he has not attended one session. And it was true. I used to either be mitching or smoking or trying to buy somebody's dinner tickets.
Oh, yeah, remember them days? 50p for a dinner ticket.
50p. I was fat as well in
Still a
school, so
fat.
I needed to.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yes.
And then, I guess that takes us right through to there then, because you would have left school. Was comms your first job as well when we worked there?
But yeah, it was my first proper job. Do you know what I mean? Like I had little jobs. Like when I left school, I worked in a chip shop doing the mumbles. Worked in another one in town opposite Joe's Ice Cream.
Yeah.
But my first proper job was communications direct. Yeah.
Nick, you remember community? They used to sponsor Cardiff when Chopra and
Yeah.
that were there before
Yeah.
comedy.
That's it. Yeah.
Cracking
But
kit that was. Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because that was. I want to go to get this right. 2007. Yeah, the year got married, and my uncle knew someone at Cardiff, and he got the whole team to sign a shirt for me, and I was the comms direct one. I still got it framed in the house, funnily enough. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. They did sponsor Cardiff. You're right.
Yeah.
that was a mad job, man. All we would do would be on the phones all day, phoning people up and trying to get them to switch their mobile phone. Pay as you go back in as well. Like, so you'd be like, you're spending £30 on pay as you go every week.
Do you still remember your pitch?
Oh, but, well, I
I
fucking.
learned the phonetic alphabet in that job, and I still remember it to this day.
It was useful for something.
It
Alex
was.
was good though. Alex was good. He was always on the good teams. He got all the good data, and then he got all the good fag breaks as well.
I robbed a living for about 3 years.
It was a good 3 years. But you were always sociable in like work and stuff like that. But then you just fuck off on a weekend with your real mates outside working, is it? And tear it up and come back in on Monday.
Yeah, so when I worked in communications direct, I was a wreckhead. Like I just lived for the weekends, and
Yeah.
yeah, fitness, getting up early to do exercise was never, ever, ever in my sort of mindset then. But yeah, it would just be working Monday to Thursday. You couldn't really call Friday work because he would be pissed on Wine Street at lunchtime. Um, it was good though. It was a good job, and genuinely, I think it sort of set me up because it was there. Like when I sort of realised that I sort of needed to change paths in life because like I was literally going nowhere. Like I was earning very good money there, probably in comparison to similar to what I earn now. Because like you said, you was selling and loads of people were buying, but you just go out and just spend it on the weekend, and then it was a what was it? Champagne lifestyle, lemonade wages, like a
Yeah.
weekend millionaire.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. We'd make tidy money, but then every Monday, we got paid weekly as well, didn't we?
Yeah,
But every Monday, I'd have to borrow money off my mother to go to work. My
yeah,
mum
me too.
started making me have an itemised bill of what I'd spent my money on, and then I'd have to, like,
uh,
add 20 quid to something extra instead. Like, 'cause I'm not telling him I spent our money on that. Like.
yeah.
I
That's
think
why he was good at selling.
but then you went off to study mental. I vaguely remember that's when you started looking into the education side and everything as well, right?
Yeah, so I sort of like you know what it's like when you're growing up when you're younger. Like I never ever ever thought that I would land up working in sort of in any sort of health job because it just didn't seem fit in with me. Like, do you know what I mean? I was like I was very sociable, but like I was always like in school like the class clown. So I was in work the clown, like always just messing about, ribbing people, and like. But do you remember Hannah? A girl
No.
called Hannah. So there was a girl called Hannah. I can't think of her surname now. She worked in comms direct, and she left to get a job, and she got a job in this care company. And I think I was saying to her one day, like, oh, I fancy something new. Like, I need to change. I need to do something worthwhile, I suppose. And she got me a job there, which was a job in Gowerton in Swansea, looking after vulnerable adults. And when I got there, like, all my mates were like, you can't do that job. Like, how are you going to be able to do that job? Like, you can't look after yourself. But and that was, I suppose to a degree true. But in my personal life, I was very good. Like growing up, both my parents were suffered with mental health issues really seriously. Like my dad died when we were younger through mental health, I suppose. My younger brother died. So I was looking after my mother. So like, even though I was like Jack the lad, it was something
Yeah.
that I was always good at, like being nice to people and that. Yeah, and I got the job in Gowerton. And I worked there for about 4 years. It was a private job, and again, like a very good job. He was doing always out and about. But then I, I suppose I've always been quite sort of never just settle for anything. Like I'm always looking for the next best thing, whatever that is, whether that's like whatever.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at the NHS, and I got a job then as a healthcare support worker up in Bridgend. And again, when I got there, then I very quickly thought, well, what's the, and this is no disrespect to healthcare support workers, but it's just a personal thing. I was like, if I'm going to stay in this job forever, I might as well go to uni, do my training, and sort of progress. And that's what I did. But I did then sort of change my life, I suppose, without sounding a bit cheesy. Like I stopped going out, stopped drinking, stopped all the nonsense. Yeah, and then I think that's probably where then I sort of fell into fitness a bit because genuinely I was really fat, lazy, did all the things you shouldn't do. And I remember 2017, I signed up. Me and a woman, Ali, again, a woman I work with, signed up to the Swansea Half Marathon. Um, and yeah, I remember doing it, and I think I finished in about 2 hours 40 for a half marathon. And and I'm not criticizing because everybody's different, but that was my first time, and like I was so chuffed to think because I remember when I started running, like when I got to my first mile, thinking, bloody hell, how am I going to do this 13 times? But you just progress, and yeah,
It's
I,
mad how everything triggers everything, and like because if you hadn't left comms, then you probably go to comms to another account manager job, blah blah blah, keep spiraling, and
yeah,
you never into fitness and everything as well. You made that
yeah,
change quite early as well because, like I said, you were young when I met you, like younger than me, so because I kept fucking about for a couple of years as well, and that's why I ran a two and a
yeah,
half hour half on the weekend, like innit? But I think like what you said about always looking at the next stuff and stuff, looking at like through your Instagram, and you're not the easiest guy to fucking snoop on, Ali, to be honest, with your Instagram and stuff like that. But from that up, well, like we said, we've gone right through to High Rocks this weekend, but everything has been sandwiched in between, haven't it?
yeah,
So you know that off. You've done that.
yeah.
Did you raise money maybe for
It
like that's
was,
what,
yeah, it was God, let me get it right. Cancer research. It was definitely one of the big charities.
yeah.
Yeah.
We did it for, and yeah, I suppose it ignited a bit of a flame, like because I suppose like I've always been a restless person, right? So like just sitting idle, doing nothing, just that. So I'm always doing something, as you said. There's always something. Like I've got events booked up now, right up until October, and I know already holidays, whatever it is in life, I'm always thinking of the next thing. Like it's just how my brain works. And I remember
Enjoy
finishing.
anything?
Ah.
You enjoy anything then?
uh, yeah, I do actually. Like it's mad though because I live like I probably massively different now. Like all the boys I grew up with in school and things, they're all still my mates. But like I don't know. I suppose because now I've drifted so much apart. Like I spend most of my time unless it's doing an event in work or in a house. So it's
Yeah, I'm similar to that as well.
Everyone is, I think, and everyone changes, everyone drifts, everyone gets new focus, new things to
yeah,
do, and like especially with endurance, you fuckers are mental. Like we're bad enough runners, but you boys, like the hours you got to put in. So yeah, you can understand why. And then like I got a lot of mates. I still go down a pub. I'm a regular every fortnight I meet my small group of friends. Every fortnight we always have a few pints. But like they always say to me, like, you're never out. I'm like, well, I am, but it's not as much as I used to be, you know. It's one of the
Yeah.
things, isn't it? People want different things now.
Yeah, and like, you get the messages when you're all you coming out and you can't, you'd always make excuses. But like now, genuinely, I could not think of anything worse than going to get a hangover. Like I would
Yeah.
rather go out and run 15 miles than
Yeah.
wake up. And that's true. Like my in work, I think people have stopped asking me now how my weekend was because they must just think like what a boring twat. Because I do nothing except eat,
Yeah.
run, cycle. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, so I started with running. Like, if I'm
Yeah,
honest, running is the only thing, and on a personal level as well. Like, in my personal life, like I said, my younger brother died. Then my dad died 12 months later. Then I ploughed a lot of effort into looking after my mother for several years. And then sadly, she passed away in December 2020. Um, and yeah, so I think for me, using running particularly at that time, like was massively helpful.
yeah,
And this is
Mm.
no joke now. Do like people like whenever I've gone for a job interview or an exam, like people will spend time just sat in silence. Like I cannot do that because my mind just works overtime. But if I run, and this is genuine, I can get my phone out, open my notes, and it's the only time that I can sort of think clearly and be able to
Yeah.
sort of use that time to like if it's I don't know like exams or interviews. So for me, running, like even now, if I become injured and I can't run, I don't really care about anything else. But if I can't run, I get like really
Mm.
agitated and it's not good.
Sort of
it's
calms you then when you're out running, like just
Oh,
that
I
calm
just
level of
yeah
focus.
yeah. I love running early morning as well. So like this morning
Yeah.
now, get up 4:30, coffee out then 5:30.
Yeah.
Like this morning we did an hour and a half. And you great. You set for the day then.
Class.
that's
Bit early
fucking.
for me, but yeah, I like an early morning, not that early.
Oh. I just prefer this done then, and then you can come
Yeah.
home from work and chill out, and you've got nothing like the thought of coming home thinking, "Oh, I've got to run." Or,
Mm.
um, but yeah, so I did running for a bit, probably 2017. Like I've done quite a few marathons now. Like try and do 2 a year around Europe as well as like
Yeah.
UK. Um, and then it was 2022. And I was getting like I've always been shit scared of seawater. Well, water, just swimming in general. I couldn't swim. I was, and this is genuinely true. I'd go into the sea, and then I'd be alright until I could see my feet, and then the minute then I couldn't see my feet, I would just start panicking,
Yeah.
and like
I
as a
get that.
mental health nurse. Oh, honest to God. And I would even, this is no joke now, I would even cycle to Mumbles on my own, go down, sit in the water, and like try and breathe it through because I was genuinely panicked and like I'd be worried about the unknown. And I think this will make you laugh now, but do you remember the old LC in Swansea?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you remember the screwball?
Yeah.
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 That
Yeah,
is
Yeah.
not.
honestly, I think it's that that's given me like a long term sort of issue because like
Fucking
you'd
spat
go
out of
through it.
that.
Yeah, you wouldn't know which way you'd come out, and then when you'd
No.
look down that horrible sort of like hole, there would always be that mannequin that they'd use for training, and it would just send the absolute EBG.
Shit.
I shit myself, panic, swim to the steps, and
Aye.
I think when we went on that once, and yeah, like I said, you shoot out, and then you go all the way down, and then you're working your way back up, and then you get so far up, you go, why isn't my head outside of the water? And you're just
yeah,
panicking because it's like, how far fucking up is this?
yeah.
This is how they
And if you
catch.
look down, there was always a mannequin that they'd use for training, and they must have just kept there for fucking good measure.
God, you've unlocked fucking childhood PTSD now. Nice one.
uh, well, they were. Yeah, so I try and I just remember thinking like I've got to try and conquer my fear of the sea. And I couldn't swim at all. And then the Swansea 70.3 Ironman was it? It was the first year, so I was a run marshal for that. I was on the 4 mile turn, and I remember it was absolutely boiling hot. Stood there, and I just thought, oh my God, this is amazing. Like thinking about so yeah. After that, then I joined SVT, and I remember this is Mark Barrow's fault because it was at the time that SVT were sort of saying that if people joined up in a certain time, they get priority entry to Swansea 70.3 the year after. which
Yeah.
was 2023. So we had to give our email addresses, and the day they come out, my email address wasn't given, so I didn't get. So I had to wait for like the general sale. Um, and on the day of the general sale, Iron Man Wales come out as well, and I was thinking like I was all day in work pondering, thinking I'm never gonna do it again, ever. Unlikely. Famous last words. So they both come out, and I just signed up to the two of them. I thought
Well, I'd have done any try by then.
never,
Fucking fair play. You lot
never.
mad. Like, all of you were mad.
It was the swim for me. I just had to like, and my first sort of dip in the water with was a duathlon, the wildflower duathlon, March I think it was 2023. And I remember it was like a five, and like the running, I was okay with. I was always been the running side of it, but like, and I suppose I could cycle to a certain thing, but nothing. It was more like leisure than it was
Yeah.
endurance
Yeah.
or anything. But yeah, that's how it sort of happened, and then I started having swim lessons. I'm still not a fantastic swimmer now, to be fair. Like, well, not great
I
at
don't know how
all.
many people are like.
I dislike it, to be honest. Like the swimming, I really struggle with. Like if I swim in a pool, I find it boring, and if I swim in the sea,
Yeah.
I'm constantly panicking.
Yeah, so there's nowhere else you can fucking swim.
Oh, and when you're out, like I know two. What is it? What's the full distance? 3.9 miles, is it, or 2.9 miles? I can't think now. But like that's a long way.
Yeah, real long. When you see it on a course, like say you look down on Wales, it looks like,
Yeah.
and you
Oh,
can only see one loop as well. You think the fuck has got to go back in, like, and it looks
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and yeah, so I did some like triathlons. Then I did the Swansea half. I went to Mallorca. It was a very good one.
Yeah, I'd be
But
like to
yeah,
watch
so
me walk. That's a good
it's
one.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is
yeah.
very good.
So, not a great swimmer. Don't enjoy swimming. Sorry, not a great swimmer. Is not a very nice thing to say, is it?
No,
The
it's true.
running, yeah. But I've had the same. Remember when we went, Nick? We signed up for. We done a not an Ironman, and we done the first Sleep When You're Dead one down Barry, the sprint trail,
Yeah,
and we went down. No, the short arm down Aberafan, the Dog Beach.
the little
By
one.
yeah,
Yeah, to the
and
Yeah,
we
left
went
by
there, and we
Park
could be
Alma.
warm.
What's it called? What's
And
it called? That?
I can't swim like, and I same as everything. I neglect my training on everything. Like, but we went down, did we wetsuits on, and as soon as I couldn't put my feet down with my head above the water. I just had a
yeah,
panic attack and got out and watched the boys swim. And then
yeah.
I probably should have done the trial, but then I thought I've been telling everyone I'm doing it. So if I die, I die, like really. But then,
In the words of Dolph Lundgren,
yeah,
if he
Yeah.
dies, he dies.
a lot of deep breaths and floating, watching people go past me. I come out of the swim last but two, like, yeah,
No, it is. It's not, and especially if you're not like that. Like for me, swimming, I just remember just thinking, oh my God, like, yeah,
But I don't know.
nice
We
man.
know a lot of boys. I mean, I don't know. I can't think of many that say they like the swim or are really good at swimming. Like Kyle's probably the best. Is either we know of swimming? I'm like probably
Yeah, the
Kyle.
more Kyle
I
always
know.
comes out funny.
Yeah, like always says he don't like it. There's a load of the boys say they don't like it, isn't it?
It
I
changes
like, I,
the stroke, doesn't it? Like you could have, like, and in the pool, you could have a banging length and go fucking hell, I can swim. You turn
yeah,
around and it all goes tits up.
yeah, and honestly, like, I wouldn't do a pool try. Like, I've never done a pool triathlon either. Because if I'm going to swim, I'd rather swim in the sea. Because I think at least if you've got a wetsuit on, like even with all them mental thoughts, you can actually tell yourself, like, if you just stop panicking and go on your back, you know
Yeah,
you're going to be fine.
you will be
Yeah,
And
all right.
with the
Like,
buoyancy as well, I don't know. I always think it's a bit easier swimming in the sea as such. Like as long as you, but it's just the distance. Like I did, so I signed up for Wales and I completed Wales in 2023. Um, and then I was so, and this is no joke now. And people ask me this, and like, what was your favorite part? And I think some people frown when I say this, but it's true. So in a past life, when I used to do things I shouldn't do at weekends, like taking substances and things, um, like done that like euphoric feeling.
yeah,
yeah.
Well, the only way I could explain Heartbreak Hill and the bike was like that. Like people would
mm,
say, "What's it like?" And I'm like, "Well, have you ever taken drugs? Because if you have, and you get that feeling, like that's what it's like. It is like nothing I've ever experienced before, ever. Actually, coming up like the hill, even on the second lap, like with
yeah,
everybody, it was like it was unbelievable. And like for me, I when I finished, I then impulsively, because like I said, I'm always thinking of the next thing. Signed up for Wales 2024 last year. Did all the training. I did long course weekend, and I think for me, I probably peaked a long course weekend because what I would say is how people consistently do it year in year out
It's mad.
baffles me, because it just consumes your life. Like it does take over your life, and if you've got a family and
Yeah.
it's even worse. But so I did signed up for Wales, did the swim, did the first lap fine, and then as I was going in for the second lap, I hit my head, and I can only think it was either on somebody's arm, head, whatever it was. But like I knew straight away, I felt like ill. I felt shit. Like it, I
Mm.
was like feeling like retching, and the stubborn sod that I am, I thought, right, I'll just get through it. Like, and whilst I'm not a great swimmer, I always finished. I was never close to like last. I was always finishing in between like 130, 140 maybe for full distance.
Yeah.
I remember coming out on the second lap, and I looked and I thought, oh my God, like everybody's pink bags had gone. So I thought, oh, I'm close. And it was something like 155. I remember running up the zigzags, and I just felt pissed. That's the only way I can explain it. Right, it was like really drunk, like, falling,
Yeah.
but again, people were shouting, so I thought, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. Got back to my bike, got changed, got on the bike, and I just like it wasn't overly hot last year,
No.
and I think by the time I got out to Angle, I'd done two of my waters in, and I just couldn't clench my first. I couldn't warm up, so I thought, oh fuck, this isn't good. I come back then, and I think, do you know Carew Castle? I think it
Yeah.
was like mile 50, 55. As I passed Carew Castle, there was too many people there to stop, and I thought, I'm not stopping there, because I thought the next time I see a stop now where there's just a minimal amount of people, I'll stop and get some paracetamol, or so I thought. So I stopped, and there was three lovely ladies, and I'd love to meet them actually to thank them because they were really nice. Like, so I stopped, and I was like, "Oh look, I feel ill," and one of them was like, "Oh, love, is it your first time?" And I was like, "Oh, it's not my first time." I was like, "I've hit my head," and I remember starting to talk to her, and she asked me what happened, and I said, "Oh, I went into the water, and I was telling I had two helmets on." And that's where it started, like a bit of confusion. She was like, "Helmets?" I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, yeah, I had two helmets on." I was like, I just need paracetamol in my personal needs bag. And she was like, oh, we'll have to get a medic to give you them. And when they come, like it was concussion.
Yeah. Oh,
Couldn't,
it sounded like, oh, yeah.
oh, I'd never had it before, right? The elderly woman, I say elderly, she was much older than me, was linking my arms, walking me across the road it was quite funny actually. So the recovery truck chucked my bike in the back and put me in the back. And there was a woman and a man, and the man was driving, the woman was taking notes, and she was trying to use I remember this because I felt ill as hell, but in my mind I was just laughing my head off because the woman was quite the nervous person, and she couldn't work the walkie-talkie. Was quite frustrated, if you like. And he was trying to tell her how to work it whilst driving. She was telling me not to fall asleep because I was concussed. Um, but his braking and driving was so bad, and I was like, "Love, I'm not going to fall asleep. Like my neck is going to break before anything because his driving was
It's gonna get
terrible."
worse.
Oh, honest to God, I got out of there. Right, I thought, "Fucking hell, I'd be better off cycling back to the finish." And I just felt,
Yeah.
but no, all jokes aside, like it was really that was hard actually because I felt really quite
Yeah.
embarrassed. Like all my family had come down to watch; they'd all paid to stay, so it's a big investment, isn't it? Like you walk in and everybody is looking at you, and they're all just like telling you, like, "Oh, I am sorry," because they know you haven't finished. And then you can't take your bike until the night, so you've then
Anyway,
got to walk
yeah.
back.
Fuck, nightmare. Yeah, like I say,
Yeah.
you're probably thinking, let everyone down, but like that, someone like that you can't fuck around with, can you?
And you know,
Proper
honestly,
concussion.
I'm just
Anything,
yeah.
really.
It went on for 2 weeks as well. Like I was in work then, like 2 weeks after, and I just couldn't. At that week, sorry, of the thing, I was on Teams meetings like this, and I'd be talking, and I'd be like, "Oh, I mean, like I just lose all trail of thought. Like I couldn't. It was yeah, not something I'd experienced before."
Mad.
That's mad. Because if you if you stopped a Caro as well, they might have just give you your paracetamol. Like it's lucky, innit? Like you
It
decided not to stop, but then you stopped where you stopped.
It was, yeah, and I just think, you know what it's like you stubborn and you, so you want to sort of, but I knew I weren't right. Like I knew even when I got on the
Mm.
bike, I weren't right because I couldn't
Yeah.
warm up. I couldn't, and when when I finished and I got back, obviously I'd finished like there was hours left for the event, and I booked accommodation on Frog Street, which is the marathon. And I thought, well, I'll just go out and shout the boys in because most of our mates who we've been training with were all doing it. Um, and I just remember standing there, like, and they were all looking at me, like, "Fuck, you definitely haven't finished this quick." Like, so I was like, "Oh, just continue." But like everyone was like, "You steaming? Are you drunk?" I was like, "I'm not drunk, no," because I just couldn't like
Yeah.
mad. But I decided then I wouldn't do another full distance this year. Like I'm not doing it. It's too
Yeah.
time consuming. So
This
hence
year now
why
is in
this
25.
2025, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So you haven't hung up the tri suit, you just put it away for a bit, is it?
yeah, I've booked some triathlons, so I'm doing the long course. I'm doing long course weekend, but only the half. I'm doing Fishguard. I think Fishguard's May, but again, I think that's like a half distance. And there's a group of boys going out to Cascais, so we are going out. But one of my older brothers, he come and watched me in Wales, and I suppose like I got the bug. He
Yeah.
got the bug then, so he said, "Oh, you've signed up now and he's training." And he said, "Oh, would I do Wales again in 2026?" So I was like, "Oh yes, all right, I would." Unfinished business now.
Back for redemption, yeah.
It
Exactly.
is. It's a more inspirational sport than any, like, isn't it?
It is. It's a very expensive sport, and it's a very selfish sport because
Mm.
like you've got to. It just takes over your whole life. Like you don't work. You're gonna work your training around. Like
Everything
on a
else.
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah.
You've
Like
done it this year. Go on.
no, go on.
No. I was going to say, but you're mad, Al, because you're just flat out all the time. Because you've done the Merthyr to Cardiff the other day as well, didn't you?
Reckon.
Oh, correct. And it was the ultra, the extreme
Mm.
ultra. Yeah. So
Oh, you've done the extreme as well, did you?
it was the extreme. Yeah. Which
That
the
was like 48 miles, was it?
48 miles dead on, and the elevation was
Yeah, it was stupid,
higher,
wasn't it?
was more than the Wales bike course. But back last year, so there's a family, lovely family in SVT, and a couple of years ago, sadly, their son ended his life, and they've now set up a charity. The For Nicky, I don't know, you've probably seen it
Oh,
out, like
yeah.
out and about, yeah.
You got the
So
orange, haven't you?
that's it, yeah, yeah. So a group of us mates, most of us did Wales actually together, said we'd sign up and raise money. And I must admit, I thought we were signing up for the Brecon to Cardiff, just the ultra, the one
No.
that goes
Yeah.
across the canal.
Yeah.
And I think most of us did, to be fair. And then when we realised it was the extreme ultra, I was just like, "How do you train for that?" Like, I'd run 32 miles was the most I'd ever run. And I thought, "Oh, there's no way I'll be doing like 30 plus mile long runs." Like, so I was
No.
we just all black. But actually, I tell you, like it was like the most. Like, it was pretty harder than Wales, right? Because so from Brecon to Merthyr, I've never experienced hills like it in my life. Like honest to God, it was just unrelentless. And like if you weren't going up, you was coming down, and coming down was just as hard because the ground is
Oh,
boggy. But it was good fun. Like, and we were doing it for a very good reason.
Yeah.
Um, Caroline and Mike, they come to see us off along with others, which was nice. And there was five of us started. Three of us stayed together. The other two went just behind, not far. And I just remember thinking, like, fucking four. It was 48 miles. Thinking, how are we gonna run that? And like the first 10 miles, you're like, oh my god, there's 38 miles left. Like, just
Just to go.
then when we got to Murpha, we'd done it was about 20 miles. We were able to do a full change. Like, and
Yeah.
honestly, I've never done that before in a run ever. Like, but it was absolutely it was like I had a first win. Then I was like, fuck, really
Ah,
like,
rebooted,
uh,
like.
yeah. And it was like it was self-directed as well, so it wasn't like marshaled. And
No.
well, I must admit, in geography was not my forte in school, so I had a watch. I could all the gear, no idea. So I had a watch that was telling me I was on course. And if it was telling me I was off course and I couldn't work out how the fuck to get back on
Get back
course.
on.
Oh, so it was there was parts though where you could follow people, so or like
Yeah.
there was people behind, but then there was other parts then where you might not see anybody for miles. But yeah, it was good actually. It was very good, and like you noticed, like we started at 7, I think it was 7 a.m. And I think we got back to Nant Galway which is just
That's
outside
Gary.
Cardiff,
Yeah, I
isn't it?
swear. Yeah.
Um, we got back at about 20 to 7 in the night, and I remember the last. So there's 18 climbs in total, and the last one I would go as far as to say was the most brutal. Well, you couldn't run it, right? It was a
No.
road, and it was that steep that the cars that were driving up to shout like support, they were wheel skidding because it was just unbelievable. And then it went up onto like a mountain, and when you got to the top of the mountain, it was like a scene from ET because you could just see Nantgarw all lit up and be like, oh my god, like there's home. We were just chuffed, but then we were like, my watch was like off course, and I was like, oh my fucking god, like we're in the middle of this
That's
mountain.
one man Gary.
Honest to God, right? And we could not see anybody else. There was a man 1 minute there, the next minute then, because like with trail runners, what you find is that they're like mountain goats going downhill, like they absolutely
Oh yeah,
smash going
class.
downhill, and you just couldn't. And then we seen this guy, and like I don't know if you have you ever had that feeling when you feel lost, like you know you've lost, and then that panic, and then you see somebody, and
Yeah.
it's like relief. Like we were literally like that, like shouting to him, like begging him that please, asking him
Wait,
to come and
show
visit.
us the
Yeah,
way.
honestly, and so he said, "Oh, follow me." So we followed him, and then we got into the town centre. There's about a mile left. And again, we were like running. It was lovely though, because all the people were supportive. Like there was a gang of boys in a car. They were beeping us, saying you're going the wrong way. And then they come and run with us then to show us the right way. Like, so that was really good.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah. And then after it, then, like that feeling of like, oh, do you know what? Like, that was amazing. So we're
Mm.
looking at what we can do next year now.
Fucking
Aye,
hell.
fair play. Under 12 hours as well. Some
Yeah,
shift
no.
that.
Oh, it was good. It was good. Very good. And I think like whenever I've seen it, I've never done that, but I love a run, walk, crawl event. I think they're very good. They're always very well organised. The checkpoints are always good. So you always what, and I always normally know somebody that's doing the Cardiff to the Brecon to Cardiff from the canal, and it's always pissing down. The weather is always
Yeah.
terrible for it. But honest to God, like fuck, I had a suntan. I burnt my face. Like, it was honestly, it was like
February
it
tan.
wasn't obviously it wasn't warm, but I don't know because he was out in it for so long.
Yeah.
Um, it was lovely. Like I say, lovely. It was
Oscar
fucking
and that
cold.
was.
Yeah, it was. But I'll
Cracking.
take that, Ga. A
Yeah.
tan's a tan.
Yeah.
And then this weekend, I see you fucking slinging around the high rocks as well.
I
This man
was, yes.
does everything.
Well, what's it called? Like again, like high rocks is something I quite because I like running, so I just like the thought of like and like if I'm honest, I always neglected strength and conditioning. So like in terms of being like strength, I'm not very strong. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, well, and I think high rocks. I don't know like really much about the background, but I just know that whoever made it is fucking earning a very good living, and they did it. I
Massive.
think, yeah, to support runners in off season because I think
Is
it's
it?
like like that's what I sort of read a bit. I don't know much about it, mind. I could there might be some truth there, but I think
Toby
it
was a
was
good seller, Nick, didn't he?
What's that?
uh
Toby was a good seller, didn't he?
Yeah, he
yeah.
did say it.
I'm selling it to you, but no, like I started doing the classes um in KO's gym in Llansamlet.
Yeah, yeah.
And like they do strength, and they do the high rocks as well. They're high rocks affiliated, and yeah, I just loved it. Like, so I signed up with one of my mates, but sadly he was injured, so he didn't. And I thought, oh fuck, I'll have to do it on my own. Um, yeah, I rocked up, and yeah, it was all right. It did okay.
Yeah. Louise goes there, doesn't she, from Coms?
That's it. Yeah, Louise,
Yeah.
do you remember Fran Goodrich as well?
Yeah, she's too busy being famous and now, isn't
Yeah,
she?
exactly. Yeah, hopefully she'll see this, and we'll get a book or something signed, Gar.
Oh,
Over
crap.
my head, boys. No idea what you're on
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Uh,
We'll
the
have to do a separate one. We'll do like a comms reunion podcast or something.
comms reunion. Get some
Yes.
old customers on to tell us how good their Sony Ericsson 3710s were.
Oh, that's podcasts are mad, innit? Because there's so many, like we could have branched off into different places. But your story's mad, like and no one here firsthand. Because like when I seen you, you were just like a little Wine Street rat, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
to come like full circle, not so full circle, but not come full circle because you weren't in any grave danger, but you know, and I know people that are still doing that.
Yeah, and sadly, like there's some people that just haven't come out of that cycle. Like genuinely, I don't regret any of my past, right? Because like
No.
every experience I had, like I loved. Like when I used to go out, I used to go to Escape, and people would turn in. I loved Escape. Like it was the best place on earth for me. And probably as soon as that shut, I was like, there is nowhere else to go that will give you that feeling. So that
Yeah.
euphoric feeling I talked about when you're coming up Heartbreak Hill. Well, that's what I
Mm.
get in Escape. But like I would never be able to live that again now. Genuinely, the thought now of like having a hangover or anything like it's just not me. But I suppose it does help as well because, like for me, like it just makes me like if I come across somebody, especially in my job as well,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you can just have genuine empathy for people. Like you can have a
Yeah.
good understanding. Like I would never judge anyone because I think like I'd be in no position to
Mm.
judge. I think it comes across as well, sincere. Like you've got a bet that the score sort of thing. Like you're not.
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
Excellent. Right, Al, thank you very much. That was fucking flown by. Thanks for giving us some time. We'll take a quick break and then we'll do Nikki's famous questions, a couple of questions, and then wrap it up. And you can go and get to bed because you're probably up at 4:30 for another fucking one.
High rocks tomorrow, guy.
Oh, boo, kick him off, guy.
We'll be right back. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. We've got Alex for a little bit longer before he gets some shut eye before I rocks in the morning. Nick, this is your
Yeah,
time to start with your questions.
yeah, right, Al. Excuse me. I know you haven't been doing try for long, we saying, but first question, favourite discipline?
Oh, running.
Running. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, on the back of that, then, what's your favourite shoe?
For me, it's gotta be the Nike Vaporfly.
The new one, 3?
The new ones, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I used them for high rocks on Sunday. Guy, you'll be pleased to know.
Good boy. At least she's wearing running trainers for that.
Yeah.
I seen actually, what's it called? Uses them, doesn't she? Ollie Archer uses them in her high rocks. She's
A lot
wearing
of
it.
people say you shouldn't wear carbon plate for high
Yeah, that's
rocks,
right.
but I must admit, like when I was looking at the grip, they were
Mm.
very good. Like the only thing I think I probably struggled on, it felt like I was on like wobbling, was the wall balls.
Yeah. Because you feel
Yeah,
too high for the back, probably,
yeah.
is it?
Just I felt like it was on a bit of a moon boot kind of thing, but otherwise they were great.
Before you ask the next one, Nick, you know what you say, Al, obviously you're always thinking of the next thing, you're always on the go. And you said then about looking at the grip and stuff like that. You deep dive into the gear as well before you invest in the stuff as well.
No, I stick to what I know, guy. What I don't get sucked into is all the like, oh, I've got to have that because it's going to do this. Like, I just stick to what I know and I don't deviate. Like, I always run in Nike trainers, Nike Pegasus to train, and the Vaporflies. Like, I've gone through I had the originals. It's now the whatever they
Four,
are out now. Yeah, that's
four.
it. And there's always something, but I always try and stick to what I know. I just stick to that.
I like
Yeah,
that.
nothing wrong with that. That's a good way to go. You know what works for you, keep using it.
Yeah.
Favourite nutrition during?
During, I'd probably say tailwind or flapjacks.
They're both good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know a lot of ultra runners use Tailwind, and I've never used
yeah,
it, but I know that a lot of the
yeah.
ultra runners use that.
I've always get a bit of a dodgy stomach, right? So like if I introduce
Yeah,
anything gels or anything, but if I'm running, just running, I'll use Cliff Blocks
yeah.
for marathons. But Tailwind, like I use that on the bike, I used it in
Mm.
the Ultra, and anything solid, I'd have a flapjack.
I like a flapjack. Not during, like, but I do like a flap.
Yeah.
Favourite post-race meal?
Oh, well, when I finished Ironman Wales, I literally, for the last, I'd say the 2 laps of the run, that's all I could think of is Weetabix with loads of sugar. And honest to God, I know it's the maddest thing ever because I don't even eat Weetabix ordinarily. But now, my go-to is probably either Weetabix or if it's a marathon, I don't eat McDonald's as a rule, but I will go and have a chicken select meal from McDonald's just because I think after all, you lose whatever you lose. Like I think a
Yeah,
McDonald's gives you all of the goodness back.
that's a mad one to eat the bits. Fuck me. pre-race, I thought that'd be like.
Honest to God, I remember I sat there. I had 8 Weetabix, tons of sugar, and a can of AU vodka.
Nice. Right, favourite race?
I would go as far as to say the Dublin Marathon for me. Are we
Yeah,
talking
you
about
said
running or just
anything.
any
Your favourite race overall? Running would suit like
long
as we're a
course
running
weekend? I'd say
podcast.
for triathlon,
What was it for
very good.
triathlon?
Long course weekend,
Yeah,
very good, very well organised. Like it's over 3 days, very very good. But if it was a running event standalone, I'd say Dublin, just because it's very well supported from the first mile to the last.
nice. You said you've done it twice, haven't you?
Yeah, so I did it last year and 2022. Very
Oh,
good.
I'll have to get over to that one. And last one, bucket list race.
I would like to do the World Majors.
So the 6, yeah.
The 6, yeah.
Have
That's what I
done
would
any
like.
of them yet?
Have you
And
got
that's
it?
the thing. I haven't.
You'd have to do
Right.
7 then, wouldn't it?
It's
Right.
7 now, isn't
No,
it?
but you can still just do
Oh,
6
is
and
it?
get a 6-star. The 7, 8, 9, 10 is going to be like a separate thing, innit? So
Yeah.
the 6 will stay as a 6. So London, Chicago, New York, Boston, Berlin, Tokyo. And then the Sydney and so now will become an added on sort of thing. So you can still do the 6, yeah. Because, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get to Sydney. So,
What's your number
yeah.
one tip for him, Nick? Any tips for him
Oh,
chasing the 6?
well, my number one tip would fucking apply for Tokyo every year from now because it's a fucking nightmare to get in.
Is it?
So, yeah, that would be my thing. Even, to start applying for it, it's the hardest one to get in. So, as I'm still
Well, and
waiting
if
to
that's the
back
hardest,
there.
I've applied for London 3 years in a row and I've never
Yeah.
ever got in.
But with London, we've got a more of an opportunity if we get a good for age time and
Yeah.
through club ballots and things.
Yeah.
Tokyo is like, unless you can run 2:30 or you're a
Yeah.
resident, it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
but yeah,
neither.
start applying for that. And
Start
the best
applying for
ones,
that.
yeah, they're class like New York, Boston, they're all brilliant. Yeah, good shout there. Good list.
Yeah.
Nick, you know now then, if he'd picked a different discipline, did you have the different questions going off for them, man?
No. We're a running podcast. I was hoping he'd go the running road.
I know, but when you started the second one, you said, okay, because of that, so I just imagine you had a tree full
No,
of
did I bollocks?
questions.
I was all on a whim that he'd go
Well,
running.
you blagged that very well.
Did, thank you. Hey, it's my job, isn't it?
Right, Alex, do you run to music and all then as well?
I
Or
do run to music.
so what song are you going to add to our playlist? What song gets you pumped, takes you back to escape?
Takes me back to escape. It would have to be. I knew the song as soon as you asked. Philo and Perry, the anthem.
Oh, my, I know that one.
Oh,
Oh,
like,
honest to God, that would make me really emotional in escape. Honestly, like now I listen to trance music now, like in the car if I'm running.
do you? I don't know
I
how people
do.
get trance on a commute, like.
Oh, it just it makes me sort of just relive my younger
Yeah,
years.
take you back.
Oh,
I suppose. I mean, I was very different to that. I wasn't into the dance music and stuff. I was into the rap and hip hop and stuff. And I guess I still listen to that. So horses
yeah,
is horses, isn't it? Right, you
yeah.
knew that one quite fast. But who would play Alex Simpson in a movie biopic of his life?
Danny DeVito, pretty well the same size.
Oh,
Danny DeVito, brilliant.
I'd love to see him filming the Iron Man scenes.
Well, it's either that or my mates call me Warwick Davis, so you could take your pick, actually.
Oi,
Horrible
don't get us
bastards.
started on him. We got a story about him.
We have telling Nick.
A few years ago, so they started a new program. What was it called?
Tenable. It's still out now. Isn't
Tenable.
it?
So, and he was the host, right? So,
Yeah.
how many was there? 4 or 5 of us. They like a team of 5. So we
Yeah.
put a team together. Me, Gareth, 3 of the other boys, and we got on to the audition, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we then had to do like a Skype like pre thing. So they
Yeah.
literally run us through the show as if we was on the show. Well, we went through and the final Tenable was Harry Potter. I know fuck all about Harry Potter. I mean, I've never seen it till this day. And this must have been about, what, 6, 7 years ago, Gar?
Yeah, I didn't. I've watched them all since. Like, I could, if we done it now, if we could go back in time, I'd smash it. But at the time, I didn't know.
So, like, at the end, you've got 10 questions. There you have the pyramid. So this is the final question. So, like, you go around your team. Anyway, so I was useless. I named, like, one person. Anyway, we didn't get through the audition. So since that day, I hate the fucker. Because he lost it.
It's hardly Warwick fucking Davis's fault you didn't know Harry
No, I know.
Potter.
I never fucking seen him, met the guy. He was a producer, but still, I'm blaming him.
Warwick Davis's fault. Yeah, so
Yeah.
honestly, even my mates' missuses will send me memes and things, and it's normally Warwick Davis on Bear Grylls when he's on that bit of rope.
Yeah. That's a fucking brilliant.
He's in Harry Potter, isn't he?
Yeah.
Ah,
So,
nice. Love it.
Excellent. Love that. I really enjoyed it. It was nice to catch up in a very different way to what you usually would, I guess. But all the best with all these bloody events you've got planned. I'm sure we'll cross paths down Swansea Park Run or whatever. You won't cross paths with me at 4:30 in the morning anywhere, but on Park Run. Oh, the socks going. You got picked up a pair of socks, didn't you, over Christmas?
I did, yes, good. I have. I've still got them, yeah. Very good.
You had them in the day. Good.
Nice one.
Anything, Nick, before we go? Or do you want to wrap it up?
No, that's it for another week. Al, I was class, and that was one of the best endings ever. That's cracked me up, Al. It's brilliant. So, cheers for your time, Al, and
nice one.
Enjoy that, rocks, but don't do too much of it. And we will see everyone else on the start line somewhere soon.
Yes, nice one. Cheers.